what I did a couple of years ago is I started compiling the mistakes that families were making as their loved ones age, because they'd come into my office and they'd have these preconceived notions. They may have spoken to a neighbor or a friend, or sometimes even a professional that doesn't specialize in elder law. So what we get very often, for instance, is people coming in saying, well, I've given my children each $15,000 per year because my accountant told me that is a great way to shelter money, because under Medicaid rules, you're allowed to give $15,000 per person per year, and they're not going to penalize you for that. And that is not true. So if people have done that in the audience, we should talk, because that is a mistake that people make over and over again, and it is based on incorrect advice from a well-meaning professional who is probably very good at what they do, but they don't really know elder law, and they may have sat through a class and misunderstood something, or sat through a class and were given the wrong information. So I compiled all this information and put it into a slideshow. So let's get on with it. Oh, and one more thing, and Mike did mention this. The way I like to handle these presentations is obviously when we're face to face, is in a more conversational manner. But as a webinar, by raising your hand when you have the question, instead of waiting for a question and answer period later on, I think number one, you won't forget the question, and then we can have a nice dialogue. And number two, we may run out of time later, and you may never have your question answered. But I am also available by email, or you can always call our office, and I'll give you that information later. And I always allow an hour to an hour and a half, depending upon the case, of a complimentary consultation, so that I can answer any of your questions then as well.